What you see here is the troubleshooting interface for troubleshooting and monitoring interface for the remote insight capabilities. As you can see here, I'm seeing results about all the remote workers or branch workers that I'm looking at. You can see there's visual alarms to tell you if certain tests are failing. So even at a high level, it gives you a quick visualization about who's in the green, who's in the red from a high level perspective. In terms of test types itself, there's comprehensive list of tests that are available per remote worker. So we can look at information such as system information, processes, what's running on the laptop. So for example, your remote worker is having issues. Are they actually running a high impact application on there like Netflix or something like that that might be impacting their voice quality. There's network adapter information, IP configuration information, routing tables. So all these information are important. So you don't have to go in and ask them to provide that or run some commands or get a remote access to the PC to get these details. These are available directly at the management interface that you see here for the IT teams. Then we have test capabilities as well, right? So we have end-to-end test capabilities, link troubleshooting, wireless tests, and we're going to talk about some use cases in a second. Some web waterfall tests to see the speed in getting into specific web pages. So comprehensive tests are available here. We also have reporting capabilities as well. So when we're collecting data from all these tests, we can actually tell you how many people are on Windows 11 versus Windows 10, for example. Are they on the right patch levels and hot fixes level? Those kind of metrics are also available at a high level in here. And we can even see device types as well. So let's say someone's using a Microsoft Surface versus something else, right? We'll be able to track different system types as well out there. So let's talk a little bit about some use cases. So we had a particular use case where we had a specific customer in the financial sector, and they were reporting some issues with their branch workers, and they were having calls being dropped. And this was a high-impact financial customer-facing organization, and they couldn't have these calls going down, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. So what they did was they actually deployed RemoteInsight and they ran some tests. And what they noticed was that they were having some issues in terms of Wi-Fi signal strength, right, and actual network performance as well. So they ran some tests on that, and they were troubleshooting on what's actually going on here. What they found was when they ran a wireless SSID test for that branch office, they noticed the other businesses in the building were using similar Wi-Fi channels, right? In this case, I have a lot of channel 11s, for example. They had a similar sort of situation in this financial firm. So what they did was, in terms of their wireless, they updated that to a channel that wasn't so busy in the environment, and they were able to resolve all their voice and video quality issues that they were having in the environment. So sounds pretty simple, a Wi-Fi channel issue, but instead of going into every single device and being able to look at logs on every single device centrally, they were able to pinpoint very quickly that it was a Wi-Fi issue, and they were able to see not only this one particular user that's being affected, a lot of people are being affected because of that channel conflict in there. The other use case I can give you in terms of an existing customer, we have a customer in the hoteling and leisure, sector, and they were moving everyone to work from home contact center agents. And their procedures to onboard a contact center agents was that they would get a bill from their contact center agents, their internet bill, and see, hey, your internet speed is up to 500 megs per second, for example, megabits per second. And that's how they were ticking the box that this agent is ready. What they started doing was they started doing more tests in terms of the actual network on the agent side before putting them into the queue. So what they did was they did some speed test on the agent side to be able to see what their actual speed was versus what it said on their bill or from their ISP. They ran some end-to-end troubleshooting tests, what this allows, which gives you capabilities related to packet loss, jitter, latency, which lead to mean opinion score, right? On which gives you overall quality of the call itself, right? And then, in terms of that particular use case, they implemented this in, and now they're able to truly tell if an agent is actually really ready to take on calls in the environment, right? There's a couple of other tests in there. Like I mentioned earlier, there's like system and process tests, because sometimes the problem is not the network, right? Sometimes the problem is the end user's device, or the end user itself. You know the phrase, right? The problem is between the chair and the computer, right? So they might be running something on their laptop which they shouldn't be, which might be taking a lot of impact. For example, streaming services, or specific applications on there. So you can actually go in and take a process list and see what exactly they're running in their environment while they're taking calls, right? So it's very important to be able to not only see the network information, but see the overall holistic view about what's actually happening at the hardware level at that PC, without going into collecting logs, especially if you're a large firm, right? Going and collecting logs from every single you know endpoint is a pain, right? So this allows you to provide all that information in an easy to see location, and you can make decisions very quickly on where exactly is the problem and troubleshoot upon it.